everyone, I'm Sarah and I'm here at Two Rivers Country Club. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to raise and change a valve box cover on a golf course. So Two Rivers Country Club is actually where I work in the golf maintenance department, so anytime there's issues with valve boxes, I'm qualified to fix them. If you don't work on a golf course, you probably don't know what a valve box is or what its purpose is, but underneath a hole on a golf course there is a full irrigation system that is responsible for watering the turf around the course. Irrigation as a whole dates back to the early 1800s, and even beyond that, the Roman Empire used some forms of irrigation. Aqueducts are one of them. Golf courses specifically, in the 1880s, mule-drawn water wagons were used to help water the turf grass around the course. It wasn't until the 1920s when the Toro Company, which is a well-known golf course maintenance company, they do anything from lawnmowers to irrigation, they introduced the first irrigation systems that are currently used on golf courses. Each golf course has a different irrigation system, so it just depends on what preference they have. Also, the availability of product in the area of the course itself. Rainbird, for example, was invented in 1933 as a competitor to the Toro Company, which still creates irrigation products to this day. But this course actually opened in 1992, so irrigation systems were well in their prime before this course opened. But that's enough about the history. Let's get into how to actually do it. So this is what a valve box cover looks like. When you're looking at it, you can see the grass is slightly raised above where the cover is for the box. That's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be slightly lower, but maximum an inch lower than where the surface grass is. When looking at a valve box, there are multiple different components to what a valve box consists of. So this part is just the lid or the valve box cover, and then the valve box is underneath the ground, so in order to see that we'll have to dig it up, but that's what we have to do anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead, first step is to remove all of the covers, and then I'll go ahead and grab my tools and we can get into how to actually remove the valve box itself. Before we start digging, we're gonna go ahead and get the grass cleared off the top, just so it makes it easier to see everything and then makes the whole process a lot smoother. We just removed the grass from the top level just to make the valve boxes more visible, and then from there we can dig further down throughout the soft dirt in order to get the box out itself. So we aren't done yet, but you can see all we're doing is taking out more dirt from around the sides. That way we can remove the circular boxes underneath. Finished digging up the boxes themselves. That's what the box looks like, and then this is what the valve looks like. So you can see there's a valve in this cylindrical pipe, and then there are also wires, which is how they can control the valve electronically. So we did one here, and then there's another one right on the other side. So you can see our pile of dirt here that we removed from the hole. Ironically, we're just going to put the dirt back in, and we want to raise up the box about 2 inches. That way it's closer to the grass at the top of the surface level. Now that we tamped the dirt down and we put more back in, the boxes are back in the hole, and now we just have to make sure that it's level and that it's at the angle it needs to be at. So as you can tell by the level, they're raised more than they were, but they're still slightly below ground level so that they're not protruding into the turf on the course. The boxes that are where they should be, we're now just going to fill back in the dirt, and then we're going to use a special concoction of 80% sand, 20% dirt to fill in the rest of the hole, and then we can go ahead and finish up. Now that we've placed our 80-20 mixture in and tamped it, we're just going to fill up the rest of the hole with 80-20, and then we'll replace the turf on top with a piece of sod. That way the project is complete. Mixture in the hole everything has been tamped and it's ready for a new piece of sod. So we're gonna go ahead and cut that, and then we'll be able to replace the turf on top with that sod. Now we have our sod laid on top, and we just have to cut the piece to match the outline of the hole we had created. Have our piece of sod cut out to fit the parameters of the hole, and now we just have to cut the circles around the valve box covers out. Cut out the holes for the covers for the valve boxes, and we replaced the covers back on the holes, and this is what the finished product looks like. That concludes our demonstrative video on how to replace a valve box cover and make sure that it is level with the ground. I hope you guys have a good day.